"Order! We shall have order!" shouted Robertus, slamming his staff loudly on the white marble Senate floor. The harsh noise in his croaky voice echoed throughout the ancient Senate building and beyond. The timeless stone, a long-standing witness to these squabbles. Claudius sighed, his head in his hand as the arguing got out of control once again. Not even the senators in his own party were acting any better. He was almost jealous of Ruth at present. She never had to deal with such a wretched sound. With silence finally dragged into the room, Claudius got to his feet, adjusting his white toga. "Claudius Decimus has the floor," said Robertus. Already Claudius could see the opposition grumbling and waving him off dismissively, while those on his side were cheering him on. He liked the neutral ones in the middle best. At least they didn't act like children. Claudius cleared his throat. "Thank you." He puffed out his chest and tried to make himself as tall and confident as he could. "I would like to finally address the matter of the Godshards and their island. I pushed the motion to recognize their territory as neutral ground, not subject to our laws and will." As expected, the bitter grumble loudened at his stance on the matter, several booing rather fiercely. "The Godshards have long been our allies and friends. They may do things differently than us, but they work best when they have their autonomy. It is to our benefit." "This is nonsense," spat another senator. He stood up. His balding black hair was greasy and his face twisted into an angry glare. Claudius fought to hide a grumble. "Of course, Josephus Venanus would be the voice of opposition here. It is true that Adam and his followers have long been friends and allies of Primus, but they live in such squalid conditions. It vexes this republic. Why is this an issue at all? We merely wish to pay back the Godshards for all the good they've done. Give them a proper home, people to tend to them, money for their coffers. Their island is certainly large enough. Why must they refuse our help?" Claudius grumbled. "You know why, Josephus. There is a quid pro quo we would be thrusting upon them. There would be a rush of senators and patricians desiring to curry favor from the Godshards. In exchange, you would use them to your own ends. You would make them dependent on your patronage." Josephus scoffed. "We are not so boorish, Claudius. I do not wish to control the Godshards." Josephus gave a knowing smile and would have sweetened his voice if he could. "I merely wish to offer my considerable wealth and resources to their aid. I would never make them do something they wouldn't want to do." Claudius frowned. "They do not need our help. They are fully capable of defending themselves, of supporting themselves. This is a non-issue for them." Another senator stood up next to Josephus. "Don't be a fool, Claudius," said Leonidas Brutus. "They are more vulnerable now than ever. Their leader is a dumb deaf girl." Claudius crossed his arms. "Have you actually met her?" Claudius pointed an accusing finger at the row of senators opposing him. The politicians behind him cheered louder as he did so. "I didn't see either of you at Elias's funeral. Too afraid to come down from your villas and parties to see what the common man has to deal with." Leonidas rolled his eyes, and the senators next to him spat curses his way. "You might be content to dabble with the rabble, but we have more important things to take care of, like helping our people." Josephus gave a cool smirk. "He's a little better than a plebeian himself these days. It's a miracle he won the consulship. You're a disgrace to your family, Claudius." Claudius' fist clenched as he tried to ignore the barbs. "You daft fools know nothing of the people. To get back to the point, you didn't meet her. Ruth had this aura, a passion and ambition in her eyes. It was at least as strong as Elias, and it reminded me of the stories of Adam. We just have your word to go on. Looks can be deceiving, too. The candles may be lit, but no one is actually home," said Leonidas. "Like how a deluded plebeian thinks he could be a consul of war," said Josephus with a loud laugh. "All it would take is a Malum warband to come charging in, and they'd scatter in the winds. If that island falls into their hands, they'd have a foothold into the cradle lands that we cannot hope to dislodge." Josephus pointed a finger. "The days of Adam are over. The Godshards need us now. You need to get with the times, Claudius." Robertus stepped forward, his arms up. "That is quite enough, you three. Let's put it to a vote. Who supports Claudius?" All the senators on his side stood up. "Who supports Josephus?" All the senators behind Josephus got to their feet. The third group of senators remained seated and their faces were unreadable. Scattered politicians from both parties encouraged them to stand, but their leader, Matthias Julius, wouldn't budge either way. Claudius cursed under his breath. Yet another debate with no victor. At least it bought the Godshards more time.